Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Storytale Staging Inside the Home Staging TV YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tori Toth, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of home staging with an amazing home stager out of Boston. She's been a stager for over 5 years in the Boston area, as well as a certified interior decorator. And she moved to the U.S. when she was only 16 from Sicily, Italy. I would love to welcome to the stage with me today, Santina Giannino. Did I say it right? from Stage It for Success. Welcome. Super excited to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So tell us about the real estate market in Boston right now. What's happening over there? What's happening with staging?
Oh, the real estate market is hot. Things are selling like sometimes even before they get on the market, and there is all kinds of sales that are going way over price. So the staging is still really going really strong as well too. Because there are so many benefits, like all the good realtors, the ones that have been around for a long time, even though it's a buyer's market, they know that by staging a property, it's still going to present better. They're still going to get more people to come to the open house. And they're definitely going to sell even quicker and for more money because the house presents much better. And, even in this hot market, people are still looking online to find the dream home. And if they see a vacant property that, all they see is walls and floors and windows, they're going to bypass that one and go to look at something that really appeals to them, that makes them feel like, that's where they want to live. So that's why it really continues to be real busy. I was actually staging today and yesterday, and I'm going to be staging on Monday.
So how many stagings are you doing a week at this point?
Well, this is unusual for me to do 2 in a week because usually I'm the owner of the company and I just hire as needed. So I have a moving company that I work with for the last 4 years. And I can count on them to just always be available for me, and especially because it has to be first thing in the morning. But then I hire as needed, other people to help me. So I limit myself to like 1 per week because between, going to view the property, the design, the selection, packing everything, and then you have to de-stage in between. So, it's usually like 2 trips with the movers. One is staging and one is de-staging. But
so you're a one-woman show.
I've been a one-woman show from day one, yes. And I must say I like it that way.
Yeah. What do you specialize in? Or do you specialize in vacant properties? Or are you doing more occupieds?
I specialize in vacant properties. I've done a lot of models. Like the one that I'm doing Monday is a model condominium. Prior to the pandemic, I was doing a lot of occupied homes as well too. But then as of like, say, March of last year, I stopped doing the occupied. I just wasn't comfortable with it. I've done a few for the realtors that I work with all the time, just because I can't send them someplace else, but I don't take on new clients for occupieds. And I'm sure now that everything's opening up, though, I will go back to it. But my passion is really doing vacants because,
clean slate. It's just a clean slate, right?
That and the occupieds, they take a lot more time and thought. And I did one a couple of weeks ago that was semi, like, obviously it's a huge house and they were really good. They took probably 60% of everything out. No, let's see. The living room, the family room, they took 90% out. They just left it pretty much like where they're going to sleep in a master bedroom, even though I also staged that. But it's just like, I guess it feels even better when people live there, because even though they were in the house and they were just in the office working, when they come out, the husband and the wife, they're like, is this our house?
I love that. I love when they see the transformation and they're just like, wait, I could have been living like this the whole entire time.
The whole entire time. I know. It's amazing. Sometimes I've heard them say, oh, I don't have to sell anymore. I like it now.
Well, you shared some transformation photos, and I'll share those in a minute. But first, let's talk a little bit about the benefits of home staging when it comes to real estate agents, and then we'll talk a little bit about the sellers and maybe even the buyers too. So for real estate agents, why do you think it's still important that they need to be staging right now? Because a lot of agents out there think that they can skip this step.
Right. And they're wrong, absolutely wrong. I'll give you an example of a realtor that I work with all the time. And I staged the house that it's her parents' house, and it was vacant because they just moved out and they're moving into a condominium. And she's she stages everything with me. So like I just staged probably about like 85% of everything that she sells. Occasionally there's something that people like maintain really well, you don't have to do it. But even though it's a beautiful home and the staging came out incredible, we only did the master bedroom and the living room, the family room, the dining room, and an office. But we didn't do the other 2 bedrooms. And the input that she's getting, the feedback that she's getting, even though it's such a hot market, it's been on the market for 2 weeks, which is a real long time for right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, I made a mistake, trying to save money. We didn't stage the 2 bedrooms. And people are saying, I don't know if I can fit my furniture in here, even though she can guarantee them that that's because, the parents lived there. She knows exactly what was there. So she called me last night. She goes, you have to come back and you have to stage them, because I don't want to wait an extra week. I wanted the house to go, the next day.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the benefit for the realtors, because it takes all that questioning away, number one, from the potential buyers.
Well, especially in vacant properties, they don't have the capacity, most buyers, to see the actual potential of the room and what it looks like. Exactly what you were saying. They don't know if their furniture can fit in there when there's nothing in there to compare it to. So that's definitely a really good benefit. I think another good benefit too, to be teaming up with a home stager right now, real estate agent wise, is that it helps you stand out from other agents right now. And even with their branding, have you worked with any agents that have helped just level up their branding, because they're bringing to the market stage properties versus just the normal photos and clutter and all that other stuff that's happening in there?
Yes, I as a matter of fact, I have a few of the agents that I work with all the time, my repeat customers. They have made me part of their presentation. So they have my brochures and my cards, my business cards. So, when they do their presentation, they include the staging if they feel that it's the way that it should be, that it needs to be staged. So it is part of their marketing. We're partners,
Yeah.
They selling me, but they also, it's because it helps them, sell the property much faster and get more money. And it's more impressive for the sellers to see that you have this connection, that this is the way that you work. It's just a really nice thing to do. Versus,
yeah,
I can tell,
go ahead. What were you saying?
Instead of just saying, I can sell your house. Anybody can walk in and say, I can sell your house. But when they go in and they have this presentation, and then they also say, and I'm going to be staging, because a lot of them actually pay for it themselves.
The agents.
Yes. They think that it's that important that they pay for it themselves. So it goes by, it depends on who the client is and how things will go. So sometimes they pay for them themselves. Sometimes the client will pay. Sometimes they get paid at the end. Sometimes they go 50-50. It's just like everything else. It's a negotiation thing. But I'm not involved with it. I just come in. I just get paid. Whether
And get paid.
or the seller.
Make the house look pretty. You guys are coming on. We see you on here. Thank you so much for joining us live. If you have any questions, go ahead, put them in the comments below. We would love to hear from you, hear from your experience. If you've worked with a stager or are a stager or you're thinking about home staging, just come say hi to us. So Santina, we've got some photos here and I'm going to share them. Let's see here. And so we've got some amazing before and after transformations. Tell us about this first room right here. It looks like a family room or a living room.
Yeah, family room. This is the Harbor Towers in Boston. And the one on top is what the living room looked like. So, if you put those pictures online, I don't think that anybody's going to be thrilled. Oh, I'm dying to go see it. So we took everything out except for the couch. And what you see below is the transformation after.
I love it. It definitely looks lighter and brighter. Even getting rid of that tan chair there in the middle of the room.
Everything, yeah. The art. You went from something that it's really old and traditional. They've been there for like 20 years, the people who live in that condominium. And now you have something that it's really contemporary. It has, a pop of color. It's a whole different sale.
And I think what's really important too is that in that hallway there, like in the back of that chair, there was that big bulky cabinet or whatever, and you took it out, and it right. Just makes that space look so much bigger.
Exactly. Usually the biggest problem whenever, besides everything is cluttered, there is also always way too much furniture in any home that you go into. Just by taking away a few pieces before we even do anything, the place looks different. People can't believe it. But we all have a tendency to think that the more it's better. So we have too many chairs, too many dresses.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times too, you get better price when you buy the set or when you buy in bulk. And so that's what people will do, not realizing that it's not going to fit the space.
Exactly.
What about this next one here? I love these pillows too, the orange.
Yes, I love orange. You can't use orange with everyone, but some of my realtors I can because they love the color like I do. Yeah. So that's another condominium. That was a vacant one. And again, very small. It was under 1,000 square feet. So by showing that you can have, there's bar stools there if you can see it. Mm-hmm. You have a whole living area, and then you have the dining area. There is no question, on how you're going to be able to live there. That came out really, really nice. And it's great.
I think definitely without the furniture, that space would look small and people would be like, what do I do with this? Where do I put, they might think that they put the dinette set on the other side or something. And then would that be enough room for their couch and everything? So I love the way that you use the space here in this property.
Yeah. And that's all about staging. I don't know if a lot of people know that, staging is really not decorating. Staging, you want to bring the most potential. You want to bring out the potential of the listing, the property, so that people can feel comfortable being able to, first of all, never question if the furniture is going to fit in there. Then just give them ideas because, especially today with all the open spaces, they're beautiful, but even myself sometimes takes me a little bit to just because you walk in and it's like, wow, what do you do with this space? It's so open and big and and you have to be able to know how to create sections, separation, different areas. And that's hard. That's hard for people to do. I'm trained, and it takes me. I had thought, you know.
Yeah, there's no function. You've got to like show the function in the staging as well.
Exactly.
What about this one here? I love the blue.
Yeah, that's a brand new house in Westwood. Um, Again, that house, they did a great job. All the cabinets were like a grayish blue, which I
Like
was.
the door right here?
You can't see them in there. I didn't send you a picture, but it's on the other side.
Yeah.
On the against with the blue chair side, there is the fireplace, but on the other side of the couch, there is the kitchen, and it's it's a flip home. It was brand new from the ground up, but it is a flipper. And I was surprised because usually they kind of like stay with all the neutral colors, but they did this beautiful grayish, bluish cabinets and everything. And I put in the blue, and it just like it was amazing. It, and it wasn't overdone because I have all the grays and the blues in there,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked really beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. What about, here's another transformation. And this looks like you actually use some of their furniture. This looks like an occupied, I guess.
That's an occupied.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So in there, I basically replaced the chairs with some contemporary chairs. I rearranged the art and brought in some of my own stuff, and then pillows and the carpet, because I put in something really light. And it completely changed the whole place as well. It was a great transformation.
Yeah, I think just changing the carpet, neutralizes it a little bit more. And it's so funny because people will always buy these smaller pieces of furniture that just kind of hang out in the room. And it's like, it takes up space, especially when you're trying to sell the property. But I love how you were able to combine your own stuff with their stuff to make a really unique space to stand out for the buyers who were touring it.
Exactly. And that's all it takes sometimes, just to replace just a few pieces and just bring in a little more of this today's styles. And people don't realize that you can mix and match anything right now. Like they say, oh, I have gold. Do I have to buy everything gold? I'm like, no, whatever. Everything goes. As long as you can make it look good and it's appealing, you can really put in, there's no set. It's not like in the old days that everything came, as a together. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Like a set. Everything matched.
It was set.
Everything matched. Yeah.
Set. You have the love seat and the couch and the chair. Everything was the same, just like the bedroom. And the great thing is now you can mix and match anything. So you can have what they had in the house, and I just bring in newer things, and it just kind of takes away from that oldness, that traditional look.
Mm-hmm.
It just fits it.
Yes, and then you have a bedroom here, which
that's the same condominium, actually, the one that we just showed. This is the bedroom.
Okay.
So the same thing, just
See, people would have asked, well, isn't that a neutral enough bed? So why did you do what you did and added different bedding?
Well, because if you look at all the art on the top, there is like 4 pieces of art, and the bed is not made out, the same way. It doesn't have the appeal that I go in. I say probably 90% of the times I use white comforters because they give you that like hotel feel, and they're like really fresh. Not a lot of people use white comforters in their home. And then all the colors that you put in for the pillows and the throw, they really stand out. So even though it looks like it's a neutral color, the bed, it still has the traditional look. If you look at it, if you compare the 2 pictures.
I love it. It's just like the little tiny things that you did that completely updated it. Then we've got this one, which was definitely a vacant.
Yes.
And you were able to add in some pieces. I love the wall art. that you put up there. And then another vacant here too. And this would be a hard space for people to imagine where they would put their stuff because it is so kind of split, right? And so the way you position the furniture to really utilize the entire area and having separate conversation sections, it's important in a big space.
It is, because the room is so big, and the way that it was, the way that it was set up, that's one of the ones that I had to put some thought into, and they ended up having to have 2 different couches. So it's like basically 2 living rooms within one room. And the one over here is the one that is facing the fireplace, and this one right here. I don't know if I'm pointing to the right because probably reversed, but
yeah.
And that came out again. I don't keep on saying the word, but it's a great transformation. It's just the homeowner was just like, she wrote me an incredible review because she just couldn't believe how great, because it was such an odd room. But now people have, and that's the other thing that people do. They have pictures, so now they know, when they go out and buy their own furniture, they know how to set it up and they know what to get and get whatever they want, to their own taste and their own colors.
Yeah, and that's a great benefit for a buyer too, because when they walk into the space and they can't really tell what it is that they're going to do with it, that's where staging comes in. It kind of gives them that inspiration of the lifestyle they could lead if they purchase that property.
And that's why sometimes they also want to buy the furniture, because it just makes it so much easier for them.
I know. How many times do you get them to buy the furniture? Because then you get new inventory.
I don't do it too often because it's very hard, especially right now, to replace inventory. So, I did it like about 3 weeks ago. I did a whole table and chairs. But if it works out for me, I'll do it.
Santina, what is like you think the biggest benefit for home sellers when it comes to staging? Like what do we really need to nail down for them today?
Well, what they need to know is that, first of all, if they stage the property, whether it's occupied or vacant, their property is going to stand out against the competition. Because, again, not everyone does staging. And you can see that when you go online, you can see what's staged and what isn't staged. And the other thing, too, is if they want to sell real quickly and attract the most potential buyers to come to the open houses, they need to have really great pictures, and show off their place. And they know that they're also going to get more money. And that's why the realtor goes through the trouble. And that's why they do this marketing, for their own stages, because it's going to bring in, there has been studies done that the property will sell between 7 and 10% more than what I've had that happen to me, where 2 condominiums were for sale. One that I staged sold for $10,000 more than the one upstairs.
Wow.
Actually put it on my review, just because the people that looked at the one that was staged, they thought that it was worth more money because it looked better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way our society works. When it looks better, when it's more enticing.
Exactly.
That's what the people want.
Exactly. And when they see furniture, the potential buyers, they gives them a chance to kind of like move in mentally.
Yeah.
Oh, I can live here. This is where I'll be sitting watching TV or having people over. They kind of like, they get familiarized with the property, and they kind of like, it's easy for them to fall in love with the property if they can envision themselves in there.
Yeah. So your biggest benefits, home sellers: less headaches, less hassle. You move faster. You get in, you get out, and you get on with your life.
Exactly. And more money.
And definitely more money. That's always a plus. So if people want to learn more about your company, where can they go?
My website is stageforsuccess.com. I'm also on Facebook, Stage for Success. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm in House, um, Alliable,
Oh,
Yelp, Google,
everywhere.
and I do all my own marketing.
Oh, I love it. I love that you do all your own marketing. We can
Yeah.
talk about marketing, but that'll be for a different video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us this afternoon and sharing the benefits of home staging. For all of our you sellers out there, make sure that you look for a stager in your area before you put your home on your market, even if your agent isn't actually recommending it, because you will ultimately make more money and get on and off the market quicker and really get the biggest return on your investment. So I think we would both agree that that is something that you should definitely look into. And if you are looking for a stager in your area and you're not sure, always feel free to leave a comment here or inbox me, and I'll be more than happy to share a referral, because I know stagers everywhere, I feel like. But Santina, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone go check out her website, stageitforsuccess.com. And I hope you guys all have an amazing week. If you have staging questions, make sure you leave those in the comments below too, and we will be putting together future videos on those. Santina, stay right there, and you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.